Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is a big day for the NHL. The NHL, in collaboration with Adidas, has released all 32 NHL reverse retro jerseys. We're going to go through all 32 today and rank them in a tier list. Quick disclaimer, I am colorblind, so if at any point in this video I mistake a color for another color, please just bear with me. I'm trying my best. With all that being said, let's get into the video. Oh my god, what is...
Oh my god, bro.
Alright, so here we have the tier list with all the NHL reverse retro jerseys. We'll rank them from S all the way down to F and everything in between. First up, we have the Anaheim Ducks. Now, the Anaheim Ducks, clearly always going to be a favorite. Who doesn't love the old Mighty Ducks logo? On the back, I think the lettering looks really good. I really love the striping on this jersey. Overall, I feel like it was a pretty safe option the Ducks went with here, especially after last year. Last year, I don't know if you remember, but they went with a really outlandish design here. Really embraced the cartoon feel of what the Mighty Duck logo originally brought. For a second rendition of this, I feel like it was pretty cool to just go nice and basic. Ultimately, I really like the Ducks one. I think it's basic. I think it's pretty clean. I don't think it's going to blow anybody away, but it's just a very solid jersey. I think I'm going to go ahead and place the Mighty Duck rendition of the reverse retro at D. I think this is mostly because we've seen a lot of Mighty Duck renditions over the past few years, and I feel like this one doesn't strike me as all that different from previous ones. Alright, so next up on the tier list, we have to rate the Arizona Coyotes. Now, the Coyotes went with an interesting direction here. The color I saw that was used to describe these jerseys by the Coyotes was Desert Sienna. Think I could have done without the Desert Sienna. I really hate the color. I don't think it looks very nice at all. And this is from somebody who really likes the Kachina logo. I've always loved how the Coyotes put the backdrop of the desert at the bottom of the jersey, way down here. I've always thought it looks really nice, but the mix of these colors just doesn't stand out to me. Feel like this was just a major miss by the Coyotes here. Especially since they're a team that I feel has one of the nicest looking road jerseys in the NHL. I'll give them points for trying, but I'm going to put the Coyotes into the D tier. So next up is the Boston Bruins reverse retro. And they brought back what many have called the Pooh Bear. I love the Bruins colors. I love the Bruins design they have going on down here. I think it looks really nice. The lettering on the back is really sweet as well. I think overall this is a really cool design for the Bruins. This is one of the road ones that I feel like looks really nice. Probably one of my favorite ones with the white base. I'm going to go ahead and put the Bruins into A tier. Next up, we have the Buffalo Sabres. My thing with this jersey is, while the logo looks terrific and I'm glad they went back to the typical Sabres colors, I feel the overall design of this jersey isn't nearly as nice as I expected. I don't really like the striping down here. I feel like the sleeves are a little awkward with this weird little blue slash going through. While I'm glad they were a team that went with a classic logo, I grew up with the Sabres rocking this logo. Unfortunately, I feel like this is another miss, and I will put the Sabres in D. Next up on the tier list, we have the Calgary Flames, who dropped some flames with this jersey. I think this might be one of my favorites. I love the striping down here at the bottom. Very abstract, out of the norm. On the back of the jersey, it absolutely pops. I feel like the numbers really sell it. Almost feels like they're wearing like a race car. The logo looks absolutely terrific. With all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and put the Flames as our first S tier jersey. Next on the tier list, we have the Carolina Hurricanes. And the Hurricanes, I feel like really fell flat, especially for a team that I really like their third jersey. I love when they rock the all-black third jerseys during the playoffs. But overall, this really seems kind of flat. I feel like the word mark, while it has the hurricane warning flags in it, adds a little bit of spice. But when I'm looking at this, I just feel like I'm looking at a Devils jersey. I feel like that's not a good thing when you're the Hurricane. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and put the Canes into C tier. It's definitely not an offensive jersey in terms of its looks, but it's definitely not an inspiring jersey as well. Next up on the tier list, we have the Chicago Blackhawks, which is a team that probably won't go very far this season. In fact, they'll probably go further in the race for Bedard. Unfortunately, they're also going to do it in jerseys that do not look all that great. It looks like they just have their basic logo on the shoulder patches as well. They really kept it simple, and sometimes simplicity really does work, but I feel like overall this kind of falls flat. Not a bad attempt, but I feel like this will end up being a C tier jersey. Next up on the list, we have our Stanley Cup defending champions, the Colorado Avalanche, who dropped a beautiful jersey in my opinion. I really like the white base, the deep blue. I've always liked the Avalanche jersey design as well, with the peak right here, which is, I believe, to represent the mountains of Colorado as well. The back of the jersey looks so pretty as well. The numbers really pop. The Colorado state flag logo as the crest of the jersey as well. Overall, really pretty looking jersey. Overall, I really like how the Avalanche's jersey came out, and I'm going to go ahead and put them in A tier. Next up on the list, we have the Columbus Blue Jackets, who may have struck out here. For some reason, to me, this just feels like the Avalanche's home jersey. I believe it's the lighter color, shoulders and arms. I do like this 3-star pattern here. The back of the jersey just kind of looks very similar to a basic Blue Jackets jersey. They didn't really go too crazy with it. It doesn't really pop in any sense, really. It's just decent. I definitely feel like this is just a middle-of-the-pack, run-of-the-mill jersey. I really feel like they could have went back to their old logo rather than just having the one that they currently use. Feels like a little bit of a missed opportunity, but definitely not the worst jersey we will see out of these bunch of jerseys. Overall, I'm going to go ahead and give the Blue Jackets a C. Just a basic jersey, nothing too bad, nothing too amazing. Definitely could have been better. So next up, we have the Detroit Red Wings, who have looked pretty good to start the season as well. Here's their jersey. Oh, wait, this isn't their jersey. Wait. Basically the same thing. Yeah, the Detroit went with the same style that the Blackhawks did. They went really simplistic with these stripes as well. I don't know why, I just feel like there's something missing with these really simple jerseys. It might be something to do with the reverse retro style of it. Maybe these jerseys would look better if they were like more bulky and huskier, as hockey jerseys once were when they typically looked like this. I do think the word mark looks really pretty. I think it stands out on the front of the jersey. I feel like it's very similar to the Blackhawks one. I don't want to say the Blackhawks did it better. I feel like if they did, it's slightly better, but it's not bad enough for me to knock it down to D. I'm going to also put it in C tier. Next up on the list, we have the Edmonton Oilers, who went back to the cogwheel asteroid looking thing that they used to have. Honestly, when I was younger, this was one of my favorite logos. I always really liked the Oilers colors as well. It always has resembled the Islanders colors, so the blue and orange has always been a favorite of mine. I feel like the back of the jersey really stands out. I guess for the Oilers, if you got McDavid on your team, the other team's going to be seeing the back of his jersey a whole lot as he's flying past you through the zone, so I think it makes sense to make the back of the jersey stand out compared to the front. We're going to go ahead and give the Edmonton Oilers into B tier. Next up on the list, we have the Florida Panthers, who dropped a summer banger for their winter jerseys. This powder color is so pretty. I've always loved the sunrise palm tree hockey logo as well. I really like the stripings. The shoulders really pop as well. Really pretty. I feel like the back of the jersey stands out as well. They posted a whole bunch of photos of their players looking cool on a yacht, rocking it. I'm going to go ahead and put this into A tier. Next up on the tier list, we have the Los Angeles Kings, who went back to the purple and yellow, looking absolutely terrific with these jerseys. I feel like the logo absolutely pops off of these. And honestly, it feels like a time for the Kings to go back to these colors. I know they won all the cups with the black and white, and I know that's probably their most notable jersey. It feels like they're starting to gear towards going back to this old look. I think the Lakers colors are probably the way to go. It just feels more LA. It feels more royal. It feels more Kings. Overall, I'm going to go ahead and give this jersey an A. Next up, we have the Minnesota North Stars. I mean Wild. The Minnesota Wild went back with the North Star colors. It definitely is one of the more unique designs. Not too many times we see the white shoulders. I feel like the colors really do stand out. I think it kind of also helps make the logo pop here. It really is a interesting look. I really can't put my finger on it. I feel like the numbering is really cool, but I can't really make up my mind on these jerseys. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about them. It might take a good goal or a big moment from Kaprizov to be like, yeah, They look cool in these jerseys. I'm going to go ahead and put the Wild into B tier here. Definitely one of the more controversial ones. I definitely don't think a lot of people are going to feel the same way about this jersey, but personally, I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Next up on the tier list, we have the Montreal Canadiens, who went full expos with this jersey. I really like what they did here. Here's a picture of an expos jersey, but I think it looks really good with the powder blue. The back of the jersey, I would have liked to see a little bit of red. Definitely above average design here. I think Cole Caulfield is going to look sick scoring goals in it. It should be fun to see them rocking it on the ice this year. I'm going to go ahead and put the Canadiens in B. Next up on the tier list, we have the Nashville Predators, who decided to go with this. I don't know what else to really say, and I think it just might be this logo. It feels way too lifelike when you're looking at it here. It just doesn't feel like a logo. It feels like something out of like DreamWorks animation movie. I think this is gonna find its way into the F tier. Next up on the tier list, we have the New Jersey Devils, who decided to pay tribute to the Kansas City Scouts, the team that they were previously before moving to New Jersey in 1982. Overall, it does look very similar to the old Kansas City Scouts jersey. They went with the Devils' traditional jersey design. I feel like it actually suits the striping a lot better. I think they really nailed the back of the jersey with the numbering and the lettering. I think the only thing that keeps it from being in the upper echelon of jerseys is it's not too different. It is definitely a jersey that we've seen in the NHL before. I'm going to go ahead and put this into B tier. I really like the Devils jersey once again. Next up on the list, if you could tell by my hat right up here, we have the return of the Fisherman. I feel like it's definitely a pretty decent redesign of it. I feel like when they're doing something like this and what the Islanders Fisherman era means to a lot of fans, they definitely didn't want to go overboard with it, and I feel like they were a little shy to really go all the way. I think a lot of Islander fans are going to love it. I think myself, I personally like it. I think the logo on the jersey really does stand out. Compared to other jerseys, I feel like they just didn't embrace the concept all the way. I'm going to try and not let my biases come through. I'm going to go ahead and give the Fisherman a C. I feel like compared to the other jerseys, I can't really rate it higher than a C. Now, you will probably see me rocking it at some point, but middle of the pack. Now, next up, we have the New York Rangers, which, in my personal opinion, I feel like I should almost abstain from even mentioning them. I feel like any opinion I give here is going to be slightly biased, but I do think the Rangers jersey is pretty solid. I think the logo looks very nice. I think the back of the jersey does really pop. I do like these stripes here. The Lady Liberty does look really good. The one thing I will complain about with the jersey is I wish they didn't use the typical Ranger blue. I always liked the Lady Liberty jerseys that had the darker blue. I always thought this was a really sweet look for the Rangers, and that's coming from an Islander fan. I will unfortunately add a new tier into this list and say I am too biased to accurately place this jersey being an Islander fan. I tried to physically move it into B. I legitimately cannot put it higher than the Islander jersey. My hand does not work there. Next up, we have the Ottawa Senators. The Ottawa Senators recently went back to their old school logo, which kind of takes away from some of the reverse retro of this jersey. They did go back to their old school design with the striping that comes through the center of the logo and around. I feel like since the Sens went back to this old logo and redesigned, I feel like they have one of the nicest looking jerseys in the league. I'm not sure what else the Senators could have done. I think this is the right way to go. I think it looks really good. I'm going to go ahead and put this in B. I think it's a pretty nice jersey. I think a lot of people will be very excited about it. Next up, we have the Philadelphia Flyers. The Flyers came back with hockey pants. Hockey pants are back specifically for warm-ups at Flyers games. They are back. Look at this in all its beauty. I saw a lot of people panning these jerseys. I saw a lot of people online saying that the Flyers jerseys are not that cool. I always really liked this early 2000s Flyers look. I guess it's what I grew up knowing the Flyers looking like. I think it looks pretty solid. I don't have too many complaints. I think there's enough changes in this design to make it fresh. I'm going to go ahead and be brave and say that the Philadelphia Flyers deserve a B tier for this jersey. Next up on the tier list, we have the Pittsburgh Penguins, who went back to the Robo Penguin Look at it in all its glory. I've always really liked the Penguins with these colors. I think it's always really popped. I was very happy when they went back to these colors during their most recent cup run. I think the back of the jersey also pops. I really love the striping here. Overall, just a really fly design. Overall, it's just a really solid design. In fact, I'm going to go as far to say that the Penguins deserve an S tier for this jersey. Only the Flames and the Penguins have found their way into S tier for me. I look forward to seeing those in action. I think the Penguins really killed this look. Next up on the tier list, we have the San Jose Sharks, who went back to the Golden Seals look. I think this one rocks. I can't really tell. It's another jersey that has interpolated an old jersey just like the Devils did with the Scouts. Back of the jersey looks really good. Honestly, I'm getting a lot of Chargers vibes while looking at this. I think the only thing is the Seals word mark, which now says Sharks. Just feels really out of place not seeing it say Seals. I don't think it was a great design to begin with, even when it did say Seals. Overall, I'm gonna go ahead and put the Sharks rendition of the Seals into B tier. Honestly, scratch that. I'm gonna go ahead and put the Sharks into A tier. I don't know what it is. But something is calling me and it's telling me to put the Sharks out of B tier, and it's telling me to put it in A tier. Next up in the tier list is the Seattle Kraken, who have the unfortunate position of trying to reverse retro a team that started just last season. I feel like they did a solid job. I think they did go crazy with the striping here. The back of the jersey also looks pretty basic. I think the numbers do pop on this, but overall the Kraken are just in a tough position. Basically just a third jersey for them. I feel like the Kraken were in an impossible position. I'm gonna go ahead and just put them in C tier. I feel like no matter what they did, it probably would have come off poor. There's just not enough team history there to really base off of. Next up on the tier list, we have the Dallas Stars, and let me start by saying the Stars need to get back to this logo. I think it was such a creative logo. It's the logo that they're the most known for. Do like this silver rendition of it. I think the back of the jersey looks great. I think this jersey just overall really kills it. I think they got everything right with the striping and the design. I think the white really pops off of this jersey as well. I also love what they did with the numbers. I wish a lot more teams would have done this, incorporating the two colors on the outline of the numbers as well. Overall, I feel like this is a really good reverse retro. It's something that, it's the reason why we all get excited about these collaborations with Adidas. We always look forward to seeing these new designs, and I feel like this one really did kill it. I'm gonna go ahead and put the Sharks with the Flames and the Penguins in S tier. The Stars. I said the Sharks, I meant the Stars. Next up on the tier list, we have the St. Louis Blues. And the Blues really went all out here and really went abstract and really went different. I feel like it works. I can't really tell. I think these cuffs look pretty cool when compared to the rest of the jersey. I really like the striping up here as well. Once again, when you get up and close on this logo, it does look pretty cool. I feel like the St. Louis not having the outline compared to where it says Blues kind of makes it pop because it has the outline on this logo behind here. I couldn't really find a better picture of the back of the jersey as well. I feel like the lettering leaves something more to be wanted. Blues fans, I would love to know your personal opinion on this. I just can't really get a good read on it. I can't tell if I like it, and I can't tell if I hate it, so I'm just going to go ahead and put them with C. I do really like that the Blues tried something different, but I don't know if it landed. Next up is the Tampa Bay Lightning, who went back to the old Thunderstorm design of their jerseys. Has there ever been something that is more 90s than this? I think this is really gonna kill. Really gonna hit with a lot of people who aren't even hockey fans. This is maybe one of the coolest designs I've seen on a jersey. Just overall a really cool look. They got the waves in there. They have the yellow lightning here. They have their old 90s logo with the script lettering. I think the gray on the shoulders is a really nice touch as well. I love the waviness of the numbering here. I think I'm going to go ahead and say that the Tampa Bay Lightning completely got the point of the reverse retro here. I believe it strongly deserves an S tier. You're not going to find a better reverse retro than that. Next up, we have the Toronto Maple Leafs, who stayed pretty basic with it. This is basically what their logo looks like now. Even the striping down here at the bottom is very similar to what they currently have. The only thing they did was they added the white on the shoulders. I think their basic home jerseys really work really well right now, and I think when you have Austin Matthews potentially scoring a lot of goals in these, I think it's going to automatically make it a hit with Leafs fans. I don't think it's the greatest out of this bunch of reverse retro. I'm going to go ahead and put the Leafs into C tier. It's kind of very similar to the Islanders and the Blue Jackets. It feels like it did a little bit something different, but not too much. Maybe didn't go as far as we maybe all hoped, but is basic enough where the fan base is going to be pretty happy with it and overall like it. Next up on the tier list, we have the hockey guy's favorite hockey team, or one of his 3 favorite hockey teams. We have the Vancouver Canucks. I couldn't really find too many good pictures of this jersey, but they did bring back the classic Johnny Canuck. I really like the numbering on the front of the jersey. I really do think this basic numbering kind of really works for this jersey in particular. I feel like maybe patches could have helped round this jersey out. And maybe there's a little too much green on the arms here. It could have been shorter, maybe more of a cuff. But overall, I think Canucks fans are going to be happy with this logo, having Johnny Canuck back. I think it looks pretty cool. It definitely feels retro. It definitely also feels pretty new. I'm going to go ahead and give the Canucks a B tier. Nothing too inspiring, but nothing too bad. Next up on the reverse retro list is a shocker. As I was talking about the Kraken and how they were in the impossible position of trying to find a way to reverse retro a newly fresh team, the Vegas Golden Knights found a way to do something improbable. They made their jerseys glow in the dark. These jerseys absolutely slap. They also went all out with the photos, just like the Florida Panthers, and did it in front of a Vegas Strip background. All of this really pops. You could really see the glow in the dark here. Compared to all the rest of the teams too, they also showed off their hockey pants. The only other team that was brave enough to do this was the Flyers, and it looks so sick. It resembles a sword. It absolutely rocks. I really like what the Vegas Golden Knights did here. Ever since they've come into the league, they've always done everything really cool, whether it's their pre-game shows or now even if it's their jerseys. I'm gonna go ahead and give the Vegas Golden Knights an S tier. One of the coolest things I've seen. Even though it feels a little bit hokey that they went glow in the dark, it just overall, everything about it, all the different features, all the different things they put into it, they knew they couldn't rely on the retro factor, so they just went all out and made a really sick jersey. Next up, one of our last 2, we have the Washington Capitals, who went back to the Screaming Eagle. Basically the same design they had back when they wore it. It really does look refreshed and looked very nice. Here's an up close of the logo. It looks absolutely brilliant. The numbering and the lettering on the back has this really nice outline on it. The patches are absolutely incredible. Only thing I have against it is it put an ad right on the front of the jersey. Previously with the Vegas ones, we saw it on the shoulder patch. Feels a little out of place putting the Caesars Sportsbook on it. With that in mind, I feel like this would have been an A, but I'm gonna have to give it a B because it has the add-on. Good job to the Capitals. I'm just a little upset they decided to sell the ad on it. And last but not least, we have the Winnipeg Jets, who went back to their 90s look. Even though they're not technically the same team, they still kinda are, or at least the fans will continue to embrace their Winnipeg Jets history, even if it's technically an Atlanta Thrasher history. The Winnipeg Jets does look very nice. I saw 2 things that the Winnipeg Jets fans were talking about. They didn't really like that they put the insurance company Canada Life onto the jersey, and they also felt like it needed a little bit of red. As you can tell, this is a white outline on this logo. I think a lot of people were expecting a little bit of red on this jersey, but overall it does feel like a pretty good updated design. Maybe I'm just too ignorant and not too sure what this logo is. If somebody in the comments could enlighten me on what it could be, let me know. Overall though, I feel like once again, add on the jersey, and it's not too different. I feel like I gave the Capitals a lot of leeway because it's design we haven't really seen in a while, and I feel like they really did kill it. But the Jets, it feels like something's missing, and then the fact that there's the ad and everything just feels like it's kind of a miss. And this is how the tier list will shake up. Obviously, headlining Flames, Penguins, Stars, Lightning, Vegas. I feel anything B tier and above is a jersey that I personally, if got the chance, would love to add to a collection. The Predators will be our lone F. I really would love to get your opinions. Let me know where I'm right, where I'm wrong. Once again, this is just my opinion. Thank you guys so much if you've made it this far. I hope I rated your favorite team's jersey in the right category. Please don't yell at me. If you haven't done so already, please drop a subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I have links down below where you can follow me on all my socials. Once again, I really enjoyed doing this. I hope you guys enjoyed it too, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.